Give it up for Steve Guttenberg.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Hey, everybody. Wow, everybody. What is this beautiful day? Is it beautiful day?
It's a
That's
beautiful
what it must be.
day.
Everybody here is so beautiful.
And we got the most beautiful energy from our family
You sure
right
do.
here. But I have to tell you, Steve, I was in high school when Police Academy came out.
Oh, really?
I saw all.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I never met the police academies, and I gotta tell you, ever since I watched Police Academy, I have always been attracted to cops.
Oh,
okay?
all right.
So,
all right.
do you hear that a lot?
I do, all the time. Well, actually, cops come up to me all the time. They say, I became a cop because I saw Police Academy. I said,
Really?
well, that actually was a movie. You don't actually act like that, do you? But my dad was a cop, and he loved the pictures, and we did
Yes.
4 of them. I did 4 out of 7, and had a great time. And I get stopped by cops all the time, take pictures with cops. I love cops.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so funny, I was gonna say. And I did, I saw you in every Police Academy.
Oh,
you were
thank
so
you.
funny.
Thank
But
you.
like, because you played a cop and the cops love you, do you ever get any law enforcement perks?
I do.
You do?
I
What-
do.
what happened?
Well, once in a while, I'll get stopped. I'm a speeder. Not anymore. I was a speeder. But there are times when I'm driving through the desert going pretty fast and I get pulled over and a cop will come up and go, okay. You can go, but just this time, Officer Mahoney.
Oh, did they know your name?
All right. But there are times when also they'll go, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Officer Mahoney, I'm sorry. And they'll write
And they're right to take. I gotta tell you something, because I play Sergeant Judy Potter on Everybody
Right.
Loves Raymond.
Right.
Okay, and
You were great.
thank you for that. But I never got any law enforcement
No?
perks. No, not a one.
Nothing?
They write me my speeding ticket like
All the time?
Yes, all the time.
But they lowered it a little bit?
They might have lowered it a little bit. They gave me a smile.
You were great on that show. That was my dad's favorite show.
Was it really?
Yeah, oh my God, I love that show. You were great.
Thank you so much
You
for
were
that.
wonderful, yeah.
You know, and another film that I loved you in was 3 Men and a Baby. That was one of my favorites.
Great picture.
3 Men and a Baby. And I heard that Ted Danson gave you a very unconventional gift when you guys worked together on the movie.
He did. You know, we were up there in Toronto, and he said, a friend of mine's up here. I'm going to give you the greatest gift I could give you. Was he introduced me to Woody Harrelson.
Oh, really?
Who's a wonderful guy. He's just become my buddy forever. And he was so good to my mom and my dad. On their 64th wedding anniversary, sent this huge thing of flowers, and always good to my mom and dad. And they've been to our house in Massapequa, and we've been to his house in L.A., and it's pretty great.
So you guys are really like the best of friends.
Yeah, he's one of my besties. Woody is a special guy.
Oh my gosh.
And a great friend. And the thing about Woody is, when he says he'll be there at 3 o'clock, he's there at 3 o'clock.
I love
He's
that.
one of those friends that you text him or you email him, he writes right back. He's a great friend.
That's the kind of friend you need to have.
Yeah, you really do.
I have to say, you know, it's so hard, you know, being an actor, especially when you're just in the thick of it and you're hot. That's usually when you even double down into your acting. But you stepped away from acting for 5 years when your father, Stanley, got sick.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be, was it a hard decision?
No, it was just the easiest thing in the world. It's like hearing a baby cry down the hall. You go. You know, somebody gets into an accident, you stop your car and you help out.
Okay.
My dad needed my family and myself, and we just jumped right in. And my dad used to say, very interesting, he said, yeah, I mean, you know, there were actually between 53 and 100 million caregivers in our country alone.
Alone.
And, you know, caregiving is one of the nicest things you can do for somebody and give yourself. And it's tough, but what else can you do? When you love somebody, you do it.
Oh my gosh. Your book was such a love letter to your dad, and you know, you did things that most people wouldn't do. You even became your dad's dialysis technician.
We did.
So like, being a dialysis technician, was that nerve-wracking?
Oh, it's hard. My sister and I went to school for it, and we learned how to cannulate my father, which means put the needles in and needles come out. And my sister Susan was a pro. I mean, she would put the needle in like that.
Okay.
And I would be like, Dad, it's gonna be okay. don't worry, Dad, it's gonna be okay. And he'd say, just do it. Don't tell me, just do it. And I'm like, yeah. But it was nerve-wracking. We would practice on these rubber tubes we bought at the hardware store,
right.
you know, nights before. And it was like learning how to fly an airplane with your mom and dad sitting in the back seat. We learned on my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it was great because then we could do dialysis at home. And dialysis is a great life-sustaining program. It's the greatest thing in the world for people who have kidney failure. And it's something that people really need to know about. And there's a wonderful project called LEARN, LRN, which supports dialysis and kidney failure. Oh, I'm sorry, that's about lymphedema for my mom. But there's the Kidney Foundation, which is great for people who have need dialysis and have kidney failure. But my mom has lymphedema, which is involved with LR and RN, so which I always talk about
lymphedema.
that.
But you know, you just made so many sacrifices for your dad and your mom. And your father, Stanley, he passed away at 89 years old.
Yeah.
And I hear, though, that he still sends you signs so
He
that
does.
you know he's there.
He does. The night after he passed, the day after he passed, I opened the front door at my sister's house, and I asked my dad for some signs, and right in the middle of the mat was a white feather.
Yeah.
And then I turned around, and the dog had a white feather on his nose. And I said, Dad, is that going to be the sign? And since he passed, I always find white feathers, and that's a sign to say hello.
Really? It's so... What do you think your dad is telling you with the sign?
My dad's saying everything's gonna be okay, everything will work out. You know, he always used to say, don't walk a mile for someone who won't cross the street for you, but walk 10,000 miles through a hurricane for 1 minute with someone you love. And that's a good one.
Man, Steve, thank you so much for this love letter.
Thanks, Sherri.
To your father.
Thank
and
you.
y'all, Steve's memoir, Time to Thank, is out now.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.